were four of us. We had an older sister named Ann. She was 5 years older than Steve and I, my twin brother. And Tom was 5 years younger than us. Tom was different from the very beginning. He didn't have an extrovert personality. He was a little bit more of an introvert. It was many years later when he went to college is when we started to discover the real issues.
As you know, had a younger brother that was diagnosed as manic depressant schizophrenic. We did have some signals, mostly from hindsight, but there was no help. I mean, nothing was ever done about that. And really nothing was ever considered really until he had his first episode.
I get a call, it was in October, from my parents saying, we need you to go to Dayton. Something's wrong with Tom. I go visit Tom in the hospital, and that's when I saw him for the first time after his episode. Everything changed from that moment. He was no longer the Tom we knew. Over the next 8 years, I would say 4 or 5 times that he was probably hospitalized. Whoever was closer, Steve or I would get a call. Mom would say, can you handle this?
It was very scary because we didn't really know anything about mental illness. We had no experience. There was no one there to guide us. We had the parents did not know what to do, and we were kind of scared when we would go visit. But there were a lot of good memories and good times. But when he wouldn't take his medication, then I think he'd get a little more manic and act out more. But it was scary.
There was 1 year that I lived in Tiffin. I was getting ready to go to graduate school, and so it was at that time I was his guardian, as opposed to the days of being a fireman, coming from out of town and coming into town, handling the problem and then going back. I was there day to day for about a year. And it didn't help. In fact, by being his guardian, I really pushed him away, or at least that's how he viewed it. You are now on the other side. And that didn't help our relationship at all.
It was so easy for us to be able to share, at least with each other.
Right.
And not everybody has that.
Yeah. Just with the four of us, we had a great support system. And, I think that his parents, as any parents, they struggled quite a bit with all of this because they felt like they were alone.
We could not find anyone to help steer us on what to do. Today, the system is still broken. It's still a broken system.
I remember Mom telling us that a couple of weeks before his death, that he had asked her, is this the way it's going to be for the rest of my life? So he was starting to come to terms what his diagnosis really means. And he didn't like it. And he felt that if this is the way it's going to be for the rest of my life, I have no hope for the future. This is not the way I want to live. This is not who I want to be. I don't remember what time I got the call, but all I can remember is the very next day standing where he died. And having all the feelings that you go through. Takes a long time to sort through these things when this kind of tragedy occurs and you were part of it and you didn't solve it or fix it. He lost hope, and that's the saddest part of it, where I think if he was alive today, places like Sanctuary House is the tool to give you hope to continue. Because living their life is not easy. They need help and they need hope.
Now we have a lot more resources people are more aware of mental illness. And I think that as long as we, as friends and families and communities, keep talking about it, I think that it's only going to help those that are affected.
Because we started talking about Tom and his journey, and we did it in social situations. Afterwards, people would come up to us and say, my son, my daughter is having trouble, you know, what would you recommend for me to do? And it was so nice that I could actually give back.
There's strength in numbers, and I feel like through Sanctuary House, people have places and resources.
I have seen miracles happen in Sanctuary House. I've seen miracles happen. And I do believe this. If Sanctuary House was in my hometown, I believe Tom would still be with us today, because I think he would have found a community of some people to work with to keep him on a good path.
We all have issues and problems. The good news is you don't have to be alone when dealing with it anymore. Thank heavens there are places like Sanctuary House that can give you the support and the direction you need for you to go forward.